Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and this is Chronotopia, I was about to say second screen. Second skin. New day. Let's see what kind of messed up stuff will happen if the druid arrives again. Because druid certainly has some crazy ideas on his mind. And oh boy, I cannot even predict what else he might suggest after what he suggested yesterday. Let's get to it. That morning, a sweet scent hung in the castle corridors. The azure sky hinted at a beautiful spring day ahead. In the feeble light illuminating a four-poster bed, a silhouette was quietly moaning. What? Why? All of a sudden, hurried footsteps could be heard nearby, and the door was slammed open. A breathless young retainer entered the suite.
Princess, it is time to wake up!
I might be incorrect, but I do believe this is a romanceable option in the game. I'm gonna be honest, she's not the one in my perspective. But we'll see. A muffled groan was her only answer.
I would love to let you sleep, but I cannot do so, unfortunately. Don't forget that your private tutor has scheduled a lesson for this morning.
The figure moved laboriously. Is that you, Nahima? No, that is our character, supposedly, so... Yeah, I was supposed not to switch voice for her, so let's not. It will be easier on me as well.
Who else, princess? I'm the one waking up every morning. Now please make haste and get out of bed. We need to perform your toilet.
The young woman stood up without word and let her lady-in-waiting guide her. Through precise and vigorous gestures, she made her take a bath, then took care of dressing her. Just as the returner was going to brush her hair, Kionna finally seemed to get out of her torpor. What is that flowery scent that has been tickling my nose this morning?
Oh, it must be verbenas, princess. It is the season after all.
No, don't mind me having absolutely no idea what verbenas are. It's shoes. It's woman's shoes, apparently. And flowers, yes, it's also flowers. Which I absolutely do not recognize. Okay, so it's a type which has like 150 species. Wait, species? Flowers, probably not, whatever.
Verbenas are quite exquisite.
Why did I look it up?
Exquisite flowers, do you not think? All these colors.
Maybe.
I thought you are not fully awake. Did you not happen to spend a rough night?
I don't know. All I remember is that I dreamt for quite a long time.
And what did you dream about, princess?
That I was with you, that I was queen, that I was alone. Yeah. No. I told you. I know. Yeah, I know from the Steam page the romance options. She's not the one for me, okay? Let's go with the queen. Whatever. Oh, wait.
Some choices will impact the story later on.
That's what that meant? Wait, what if I click this? No, it's just informing. Okay. I was on the throne. I was ruling the kingdom with an iron fist. All my subjects revert and respect me. Even you congratulated me by repeating how great of a job I was doing.
Cool, how eager you are to become the queen. I'm certain this day will come soon. Have a little more patience.
Time seems so long before then. Do you think that this is a vision of the future awaiting me? I mean, I would say maybe. It is possible that your dreams sort of predict your future? Funnily enough.
Assuredly. In the case, that is all I wish you.
Oh. You don't want to say that.
Your dream was surely very pleasant, princess, but you should not fall asleep again. Do not forget that your lesson is supposed to start soon.
Do not worry about me, Nahima. I'm quite positive the poor sot will be late again anyway. Meh.
Princess, you should not speak ill of your tutor. He's an excellent teacher.
Is he?
What has he planned for today?
No clue. We have completely given up on arithmetic over the past couple of days. What? And we are now focusing on practicing singing and playing the harp. Wait, the same person is teaching you maths and music. Are we sure that person is, like, competent? Not to mention you've given up. Maybe we should think of switching the teacher?
You're only studying music? Why the sudden change?
It is a request from my father, or so it seems. No clue why. I've not seen him for years. Oh boy. I thought he had no more interest in me. Oh, you wish.
I'm sure the king is simply a bit shy. If he can get on his high horse, he may not even dare to be near you after your mother's death.
I think he resents me.
Why would that be?
One way or another, he must be ashamed of me. He surely found a mistress after all this time, and sooner or later he will tell me that he wants to repudiate me.
That would not be correct of him.
In that case, why has he not tried to marry me off? Oh boy. I'm 17 years old. Is it not unusual? No, it's not. Surprisingly for you, maybe, it's not. You are still too young. I do like the freedom, but I cannot shake the feeling that it is a bad omen. Oh!
Yeah, about that.
After all, young girls from good families are wed between 12 and 14 years old. Do you speak about, like, an absolutely disgusting way, by the way. I'm getting old, and at this rate, nobody will ever want to marry me. What are you talking about? My god. Luckily, we are past that time. Except certain parts of world which are still, like, living in Middle Ages, I guess. Whoa. No, I like the previous one more. Let's stay like that. This is better. This is better. Oi. Like that, it's better. Come on. Someone agree with me, please.
With a lovely face like yours, perish the thought you are as beautiful as an angel, princess. I mean, she's kinda cute, yeah. And smart at that. No prince should ever refuse her hand.
Is it a bad thing to... No, it's not a bad thing to say. from by me, for me, whatever. What I want to get to at right now is she's more attractive than mother of hers. Thank you, Nahima. It is nice of you to comfort me.
You know I meant it. Look at the beautiful hair. I could brush it for hours without getting bored.
Sure. Kionna gave a faint but tender smile. No, honestly, like, the hair loose was so much better. What is that white thing in her hair, by the way? I'm curious. I mean, clearly it's like... It's supposed to hold the hair in this form, but... Not like I will need that information for. Nahima had been her lady-in-waiting, her personal assistant and her confidant for many years. As far as she could remember, they had been inseparable. Oh boy. Another reason to not go after her. Like, kind of gives the vibes of a childhood friend. As you know, I'm not into that. Older by only 2 years. She's older. Nahima happened to share the Henry's Mauritianian origins. However, unlike Kionna's family, which had always consisted of famous nobles, Nahima's humbler family had settled in their region as retainers. I mean, still basically living good life. The late queen herself had trusted the young Mauritanian servant, and that was how she had become the princess lady in waiting despite her humble origins. Are we in Mauritania, now that I think about it? I think it was mentioned we are, but... She was now greatly enjoying taking care of the princess, and the sudden death of the queen had only brought them closer. Is that so? It was without a doubt Nahima's optimism and kindness that were allowing Kionna to live a comfortable life despite the grim state of the country. Between the lessons intended to hone her knowledge and the time spent with her retainer, the heiress was not lacking in anything. Yet she was feeling deeply bored, and to her dismay, no party could ever awaken. The sleeping castle, oh my god, that creeped me out a little bit. Look top right corner, it's moving. Dude, I have not noticed until now. I'm like, wait, what? Why is it moving? Why is the chandelier moving? What? Then again, the window is open as well. Anyway. If things keep going like this, I'm going to die of old age within these walls, she thought, a bit melancholic. No one will ever look for me, no one will ever come to save me, and I will end up alone in this depressing place. I mean... Then you should try to do it yourself. She did not want to show Nahima her anguish, so she tried her best to smile. With the brushing done, the two girls left the room to attend to their occupations. Once the servant was out of sight, the princess sighed. Even though Nahima was her confidant and she trusted her, there was one thing Kionna had never told her. Sometimes was troubling her. Sometimes something was troubling her. She sometimes felt like she was being watched. Especially on a day like this one. And she probably was. As the weather was sunny, her tutor enjoined her to go to the palace's inner garden to begin her recital. And as she had foreseen, the princess felt someone insistently looking at her as she was singing. A gaze that was coming from the king's cabinet. That creep.
Look at that creep.
As usual, the king was observing his daughter from afar, staring at her with a desire that was not hidden anymore. Oh boy. The old druid had grinded him down, and now the king was as desperate as he was convinced.
He had to marry her.
That day, his counselors had gathered at his request. He was going to inform them of his decision. Yeah. The mood was heavy. Everyone felt something major was about to happen, and they were as worried as they were eager to hear what the king had to say.
Thank you for coming. And no, many of you have been begging me to remarry. Until now I was quite against it, as I want to keep the promise I had made to my late wife.
You promised to keep her alive. You didn't promise anything else.
However, I have finally found someone worthy of replacing her and sit beside me on the throne.
A round of applause filled the room. Stop with that, boys and not boys. Really, stop. The counselors seemed both incredulous and ecstatic. Oh, wait till you hear the news.
Thank you for making the decision, Your Highness. You may have thought of us as ceaselessly, but we're only doing it for your sake and the kingdom's.
Absolutely, and we're sure the one you have chosen will be up to the task.
Oh boy.
Could tell us who the lady who managed to entice you might be?
Of course. I will not hide the truth much longer. She whom my heart has chosen is the Princess Kionna, and I hereby officially announce my decision to marry her.
In a short movement of fear, all the counselors fell silent. Some thought they had misheard, others that it was a misunderstanding. One brave soul decided to break the ice and shyly asked,
Princess Kionna? Your daughter? What the hell is wrong with you? My daughter, indeed.
There we go. Loud whispers filled the king's cabinet. A mix of horror and bewilderment could be seen on the faces of the nobles, which is, you know, to be fair, for surprising, given that we all know that nobles were doing that, so... Wow, that is a freaking crazy thing. Anyway, time seemed to have stopped and the cheerings had been replaced by contempt and cold glares. Yeah, okay, that's good actually. That's very good. So maybe the nobles in his kingdom are not messed up in the head. By the way, is there any new notes? Nope. Had to check. Another counselor dared to speak.
But, Your Highness, with all due respect, you cannot marry your own daughter. The church says... Did you not swear a few seconds ago to accept my choice, whatever it be? Are you never satisfied? I'm finally fulfilling your wish, and this is still not enough? You rascals! Be gone and no, I will not change my mind. I'll propose to Kionna this very day.
Two sweet counselors were chased from the king's cabinet like criminals. Even though we all know it's the king that's an absolute criminal. What the hell? Church aside, because as you may or may not know, I would absolutely not care about church's opinion. It is still messed up. Okay, let's save and let's have a look at the log.
Donkey skin.
I might have looked into this too early, but well, what ifs. Donkey skin, 1694. Whoa. And again, maybe not surprising. It's one of the Charles Perrault's first fairy tales. Originally published in rhyme, there is a later version written in prose, but its authenticity has never been established. Donkey Skin tells the story of a great monarch, virtuous in every way. He owns a curious donkey which, instead of emitting feces, produces golden coins at will. The animal is treated with regard as it is the source of the kingdom's wealth and prosperity. Again, that donkey is being used. Unfortunately, the king's happiness is short-lived as the queen falls critically ill one day. Dying, she makes him promise to never remarry. Oh, so... okay, so this is a little difference compared to Chronotopia. Because she asked that king to remarry. Unless it is with a woman even more beautiful than her, as she secretly thinks he will never succeed. Okay, she asked him over here to remarry. If it was like in Donkey Skin, well, to be honest, that wasn't much of a challenge in my opinion. The sovereign agrees and grieves for her loss, but his mourning only lasts for a few months. He's quick to move on and seeks a new spouse. Oh. Oh. Okay, so in our story here, he's basically forced to do that. He's quick to move on and seeks a new spouse who would have more attractive traits than the previous one. Which also would kind of tell us that that noble in Donkey Skin might have not loved his wife that much if he's able to move on fast. Anyhow, since no maiden is able to surpass the late queen, he eventually turns to his own daughter, who meets all criteria and decides to marry her. Oh my god. In the orgy, the king simply consults a casuist to ensure the legality of his endeavor. In the prose version, it is an old druid who deprives the king of any qualm concerning his evil deed. In both cases, he seems to fall in love with the poor princess with his concerting speed. Dude, totally drifting off the topic. Maybe not drifting off the topic, but touching the topic of current lives, I guess. You know how there is people who attack anime and manga for trying to impose topics like that and so on? Dude, Europe is no better, clearly, except if we created something like that like 300 years ago. What the heck? Wow. Nuts. Anyway. Gathered in the corridor, they soon began arguing loud, exposed to all the retainers who were passing by. And this guy about to freaking keep the entire kingdom into shaking. The king has gone crazy! We had warned you! We should have gotten rid of him! Yeah.
You fools, this is your fault. The droid you paid so generously is a sham. He put some devilish thoughts into his head. Look at the result. It's just a sleight of hand. By marrying the princess, he's trying to keep the kingdom under his yoke. Once the wedding is consummated.
Please. Oh, no. Why are you... Why did you... you put that thought into my mind now. No. No.
We'll not be able to exile him anymore. No, we'll be able to ally with Kionna to take back power. We are at his mercy.
He'll be stabbed in the back, won't he? They all look the same. It's kind of funny. But on the other hand, they would probably. Like, I feel like all the nobles would have the same hairstyles and so on. Yeah. Anywho.
Oh, it is still possible to appoint an assassin and... Enough! It is because of your extremists that we are in this bind. Oh really? If your schemers had managed to come to an agreement, maybe we would not be here. Us? Are you not the ones who let the druid do as he pleased? Let us face the fact, you loyalists are at fault.
They soon came to blows, and the news quickly spread in the whole castle like wildfire. As she was coming back from her tutor, Princess Kionna took the opportunity to wander in the near-empty palace, still in a melancholic mood. Once again, she had felt her father observing her. What a creep! Whether it be while singing in the garden or later that day during other lessons, he had never stopped staring at her. She had noticed his behavior for quite some time, and she could not help but feel a deep unease. Was he, the man she had not seen for so many years, interested in her again? Dude, how did she not hear the news yet, if it spread like wildfire? Was it an awkward way for him to make amends, as Nahima had said? Or for a far darker reason? Yeah... Kionna had a bad feeling about this. Some other days she would have dismissed these thoughts, but today was special. All day long, she had been under the impression that the servants were whispering things in her path. Something weird was definitely going on. With a knot in her stomach, she shook her head nervously. I should stop thinking about it, it can only hurt me. She suddenly noticed that the castle was bathing in sunset. Already that late! I must make haste. I promised Nahima I would pay her a visit. As the princess was walking towards the castle's kitchen, where most of the retainers were at that time of the day, she felt a presence behind her back. The creep has arrived. Reflexively, she turned back and caught a glimpse of a man standing before her. Her heart skipped a beat like never before due to the surprise. Astounded, she tried to fan herself to get rid of the warmth that was spreading through her whole body. She needed a few seconds to recognize this solemn man, but any possible doubt had vanished. It was the king! Father, I've not seen you in so many years.
Are you surprised, my daughter?
Well, you seem to be avoiding me since the death of mother.
I regret it very much. Have I made you suffer?
Yes, father. I don't speak with you again if possible.
All these years I was only inhabited by loneliness and bitterness. I don't want you to see me like this.
And now, he's also inhabited by creepiness.
But today I've decided this cannot continue.
I'm glad to hear that, father. Oh, wait with your words. Still petrified because of how surreal this scene was, Kionna politely answered while taking a closer look at the old man's faded and worn-out face. Had he always looked like that tired, that aloof? She could not remember. The unexpected presence of the king could have been a great moment of happiness for the young woman, but in the shadows of the looming night, she could glimpse a red light in his eyes, a crazed and bloodthirsty light. With each word, the king was getting closer, looking more and more threatening like a raven spreading out its wings. The unease did not leave Kionna's fluttering heart. Is this why you have come to see me, father? As a token of reconciliation?
Better than that. You want to be by my side, do you not? I know of a way to bring us closer, but this hope rests on you. Do you love me?
Not in a way you would like, I guess. I love you, like a daughter must love her father.
This is not what I want to hear. I love you, my daughter, and I've decided to marry you.
Kionna could feel her blood rushing through her veins. Cold sweat was running down her spine. She did not want to believe it. My apologies, father, but the church's teachings... Don't bring the church, just say it's creepy as heck.
I don't care about those, forget them. I love you, and I want to make you my spouse.
But I cannot, that would be a crime. He cut her pleading short with a voice as sharp as steel.
I think you don't quite understand. You will marry me, whether you want to or not. I have your life in my hands, you have no choice but to obey me.
Terrified, Kionna glanced around her, but there was no way to escape. The king's imposing stature was blocking the corridor. Is he imposing for? Yet an overwhelming urge to run away was tormenting her from inside. She had to find a way. She tried to negotiate. Please, at least give me some time to think about it. The old king scowled at her, displeased.
You've 1 hour. No more, no less. I'll be your bed jumper. Finish thinking about my proposal by then.
Yikes. Then he turned around and walked away, his cloak floating through the wind, leaving the princess lost and shocked. As he vanished from her field of vision. Turned red, achievement unlocked a dreadful marriage proposal. Yeah, hit the Mad King's... something. I have to have a look. Hit the Mad King's... words. As he was vanishing from her field of vision, turned red by dusk, she let herself fall on the ground. Understandable. This is not what I wanted. Leaving the princess to her sorrow, the old king went back to the druid who had advised him so... well...
Druid, my constant, speak frankly. Is my love for Kionna sinful?
Yeah...
Nothing. Nothing. Your feelings are mutual, your highness. Has she become enamored with you?
Of course not.
I don't know, she seemed confused, shaken. Am I making a mistake?
Yeah?
Her confusion is only natural, your highness. The princess is still young, she cannot analyze her feelings well yet.
Yeah? I mean, you are not wrong, that's why she should not be going into anything like that.
With some time, she will perfectly get used to it. So I must give her time. More than time, she needs to forget her reluctance. For what reason you should, for instance, answer to her every whim? If you shower her with presents, she will soon understand how strong your love is, your highness.
Not really. No. That's not how it works.
I will keep that advice in mind for after the wedding.
What?
But tell me, do you have a daughter? Unfortunately, I do not, your highness. But believe me, if I had one, I would not think twice before marrying her.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he would say that. That's freaking nuts. Pleased with the druid's cajolery, King Thibaut got out of his cabinet, even more determined than before to make his daughter yield. You should have tried to run. After that overwhelming encounter, to say the least, Kionna went almost mechanically to her bedroom. Literally the last place you should have gone to. Then she silently sat on her bed like a dislocated automaton. She found a bit of comfort in her misfortune. She now understood why the king seemed so weirdly reticent to marry her off. He wanted her for himself. But was not morally acceptable. After all, he was the man who had conceived her, and the principles she had been taught were quite clear about this. Had he gone crazy? Was he trying to damn her to hell? A rush of disgust violently seized her throat. No, this was not right. Deep in morbid thought, the princess hardly noticed the sound of hurried footsteps coming closer. The grating noise of the door made her jolt. Was he already? Fortunately, it was just Nahima, who seemed as scared as her.
Oh, princess, I've just heard the news from the mouth of another servant. I came here as fast as I could. Thank you, Nahima, but your effort was vain. My father told me I had no choice, and that he would marry me whether I wanted or not. The hour for what I requested is almost over. There is nothing we can do. Do not say that, princess. There is still some hope left. He'll be here in a matter of minutes. I will never be able to find a solution in such a short time.
Well... I can think of 3. One of them I really dislike for. Basically, number 1, try to run. Number 2, erase him. Number 3, which I don't like the idea of, Erase yourself. That one I would like to avoid. You know what? There is one more thing I had thought about, considering that the king's father supposedly had 12 children, right? But what about the queen's family? I'm just thinking of something ridiculous here as well, okay? But still, this is a ridiculous idea still, but whatever. If we were to look into the queen's family, maybe there is someone who would be at the age of the queen or at the actual age of the king, and she would be the sister of the, you know, passed away queen. Maybe he could get her instead? It's still weird because it's already family, but I don't know.
Time is what we need. Like my father always said, it is not good to think in haste. We have to find a way to buy time, to get yourself off the hook. How can I buy time without upsetting him? He seems as harried as he is irritated. If I were to ask him for another delay, he would certainly refuse.
By the way, I switched her voice in the end, didn't I?
That is why you had to be sly. Rather than directly asking for more time, pretend you demand a gift from him as a token of goodwill. A gift? That is to say?
Okay. Good thinking, Nahima.
Ask for something so rare and complex it would be almost impossible for him to obtain it. Thus, even if he manages to give it to you, you would have bought quite some time nonetheless. And if he does not keep his commitment, then it is even better. That's a good idea. However, I have to find something to ask him without sounding suspicious. If I were to request some Far Eastern China from him, you could argue that this is not necessary, or perhaps to buy some after our wedding. You're right.
I mean, to be fair, the druid also suggested for the king to buy some gifts, and the king said it will be done after the wedding, so... Huh. Nahima wrapped her chin with a pensive look.
Time, we need time. All of a sudden she clapped her hands. I know, princess. Demand that he gives you a dress the color of time.
Well?
It is common for a future bride to want new clothes to appear a proper lady in the arms of her spouse. He will not be able to refuse. And since time has no color, no tailor, even a fairy one, will ever manage to craft such a dress. Nahima, you are a genius!
Is she? Under the influence of relief, Kionna flew into her retainer's arms, who consequently went as red as a beetroot.
Princess, please, this was nothing!
The two girls were so happy they failed to notice the sound of footsteps in the corridor in time. Someone knocked at the door. This time, there was no place for that. It was the king.
My daughter, are you here?
Quick, Nahima, hide under the bed. We cannot let him know you are here.
Why? What's the big deal? No sooner said than done. Nahima slipped under the wooden frame. The wide bedsheets easily covered her, and Kionna only had to adjust their length to be sure she could not be seen.
I'm coming, father.
With very shaky hands, the princess opened the door and let the king come in. Okay. His eyes were as piercing and hard as an hour ago. She could not help but gulp.
So, have you considered my proposal?
I mean, not like there is much to consider, and I mean, you said that you will do it anyways.
Yes, father. After pondering the issue, I've come to the conclusion that I cannot appear by your side without clothes fit for a queen. I want to honor you, and that's why I would like to slightly renew my wardrobe before the wedding.
The druid's advice immediately came to the old king's mind. The young woman was certainly about to express some whims of hers, and he could not pass on such an occasion to earn her trust. Thus the king carefully listened to her.
Please speak frankly, dear daughter. I'm listening and I will try my best to fulfill whatever wish you have.
Father, please bear what I ask of you. Address the color of time.
The color of time? What a strange whim of yours. Well, so be it. I'll stick to my word. You will have the dress tomorrow evening at the same time.
Heh. And with solemn look he left the room, delighted by the hope that Jerez had given him. Oh boy! Good luck with that! Nahima took advantage of this opportunity to come out of her hiding.
You've been wonderful, princess. We've managed to buy enough time to set up a plan. We still have to find one, however. It is better to sleep on it.
Oh.
It has been a long day and you must be exhausted. Get some rest and we'll think about it tomorrow morning. You're probably right, Nahima.
With a brooding and hazy mind, the princess quickly went to bed. There had to be a way to save her. Wait, there is dust flying around. Obviously, I don't like the fact that the dust is flying around in real life as well sometimes. But I love the fact that it's implemented in the game here. Anyway. Meanwhile, the king had gathered the most talented crafters of the area, the best tailors there were, and he ordered them to make this dress in a day, otherwise they would be hanged. Way to motivate your people, haha! Dude, I'm surprised someone actually does not try to stop him by now. Terrified for their lives, they started their work straight away, relentlessly working all night, while cursing this weird idea. Address the color of time, what a caprice. Phew. That was nuts. Dude, I'm looking for when this might appear and how it will exactly look like. I hope I have not missed one by now. I should keep this open for... Let's have a look. And that would be fairer than a fairy. There are actually two princesses who bear that name. The one in the eponymous Fairer Than a Fairy 1698 by Miss Della... that's an F, right? Della Force? I think. And the one in the Rainbow Prince 1718 by an anonymous author. Both have in common to have been named that way by their father because of their peerless beauty, which stirs up the fairy's wrath. Wait, what's the name? Is fairy the name? Or it is difficult to find a name considered... Wait, it is difficult to find a more considered name than Fairer Than a Fairy. Plus belle que... Fe? I'm guessing? In French. Yeah, it's fe. Okay. In French. Okay. Okay. We have 10%. Let's go. Alright. Surprisingly for nothing... Oh yeah. No. 9. There is one. Dude. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, come on. You can't tell me this is not better than this hairstyle. The first one wins. Okay? Without a shadow of doubt here. Anywho, I don't know, we are kind of going day by day in each episode, so let's end it right here, right now. We'll see it to another day tomorrow, and we'll see where this craziness will go. I'm enjoying myself here, though. I really do. You know what? Maybe it's because it's that crazy. With that whole king plan, with the actions of the king, that it's so good. And again, I mean, as it was explained in the third archive, seems like not only Japan is creating weird scenarios. Seems like Europe is no better at all. And let's remind, they've done it 300 years ago. Stories like this. Not to mention, if we think about nobles, we all know that, well, they actually did get to stuff like this in real life, which is even freaking more ridiculous. Damn. Anyway, that's it for now. Consider liking and subscribing if you're new around. That's always appreciated. We are going to play Chronotopia and obviously more games. I actually have some rendered, but I don't know. I uploaded 2 Twitch VODs lately. So maybe... should I upload this or... No, you know what? Today there will be maybe 2 videos of 2 games which I was sort of... Actually, I was requested to play Chronotopia. The other one I got the info that I might get the key for. And I said, yeah, give me the key, I'll play it if it's okay. So maybe today we will get 2 videos of kind of, sort of 2 requests, I guess. And the second game is not yet released. So yeah. But yeah, Chronotopia, of course, linked in the description. Today, it's still on a 20% discount. And it will be for like next around 24 hours. Depending on... Well, maybe a little less than 24 hours, knowing that I might be uploading after 8 in the evening. Yeah. So yeah, you have not much time. Go and get the game yourself as well. Alright, let's end it. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't be a creep like the king. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye!